Hey there, Katie here. I am the author of the brand new children's book, Daisy the Delightful Duckling, and my sister is with me.
Hi, I'm Dory Colburn, and I am the illustrator of Daisy the Delightful Duckling.
We are so excited to announce that Daisy the Delightful Duckling is available now on Amazon. You'll find the same fun alliteration, charming illustrations, and wonderful wisdom in this book as our other children's books. So Daisy the Delightful Ducklings exemplifies all the attributes of the Proverbs 31 woman. So she is brave and kind and optimistic and smart, and she's also based on my beautiful niece
Daisy, who is my oldest daughter. Her name is Daisy Faye. And she is so sweet and kind and precious, and she just reminds me so much of Daisy Duckling.
Yes, she does. And also my other niece, your other daughter.
Yeah, Dixie is also in the book as one of Daisy's sisters. And of course, my name is Dory, and my husband's name is David. And so we have a Dora and a Davy in the book, if you can see a pattern going on here.
Absolutely. We're a little partial to the alliteration. In the book, Daisy has two older sisters, Dixie and Dee, who every day they doll up their feathers. And Daisy has this beautiful, kind heart, but she really doesn't know it yet until later in the story when she meets Dora the dragonfly. She thinks to be delightful that she also needs to be dolling up her duckling feathers like her big sisters, Dixie and Dee. But she goes about the dairy farm, Farmer Dan's dairy farm, performing all these dandy deeds, right? And helping out all these different dogs on the dairy farm.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
And then in the end of the book, she meets Dora the dragonfly, and she discovers what makes her truly delightful. Here is Drake, one of my favorite illustrations in the book.
This is my Daisy's favorite part of the book. She loves seeing the dog stuck in the mud.
Yes, I love that. And then one more, you caught a little glimpse of her there, but Dolly the Dalmatian,
Yes, she's
who
so
is
precious.
precious and purple.
Purple.
Okay, let's read just a little bit out of the Proverbs 31 scripture, just to give a little insight as far as into who Daisy is as a duckling. I was gonna say as a person, as a duckling. This comes out of Proverbs 31, 25 through 26 and 29 through 31. Strength and honor are her clothing. She shall rejoice in time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and on her tongue is the law of kindness.
Many daughters have done well, but you excel them all. Charm is deceitful and beauty is passing, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates.
I love that. And I love, especially for all the little girls out there,
Yes.
boys and girls alike, I think will love this adorable story, but especially for our little girls learning more about the Proverbs 31 woman. We are going to read Daisy the Delightful Duckling. This is Daisy. She is a delightful duckling. Daisy adores doing dandy deeds around the dairy farm where Farmer Dan and his 3 dogs dwell. Daisy has 2 older sisters, Dixie and Dee. Every day, Daisy watches them get dolled up. They squeal with delight as they dazzle and dress their feathers with darling bows. Daisy dreams of the day when she can get dolled up too. Because she is the youngest sister, her duckling feathers are too delicate to bedazzle. One day when daylight was dawning on the dairy farm, it began to rain. Big dreary drops fell from the sky. Daisy watched as Dixie and Dee adorned their feathers in the dim daylight that streamed into the dairy barn. She sighed deeply and decided that it wasn't very dignified to sit around feeling deflated. Feeling doubtful that she could do any dandy deeds on the dairy farm in the dreary rain, Daisy determined that dawdling around outside would be better than sitting inside the dairy barn. Daisy took a deep breath. Then she left the dairy barn, determined to make it a delightful day. She waddled past the daffodils and down the driveway. Then she heard a distressed voice. "Oh dear," declared the voice. It was coming from the ditch. Is this your favorite part? You like this part? She would have to be brave to help solve Drake's dilemma. She spotted a dogwood tree nearby. Daisy broke off a branch and dragged it to the ditch. She dropped...
Him up.
Did she help him up? She dropped one end down to Drake. The distressed Dachshund bit onto the dogwood branch, and Daisy deployed all of her strength as her little duckling feet slipped in the mud. At last, Daisy dragged Drake out of the ditch. Yay!
Daisy found Dolly near the doghouse that Farmer Dan had built. She was surprised to see Darla, the dormouse, there also. Neither of them appeared to be having a dapper day. Rather, they both appeared disgruntled. Darla, the dormouse, declared that I am having a dot disaster, Dolly said with defeat. Daisy could see dots appearing all over Dolly. She thought for a moment. I'm no doctor, but I disagree with Darla, Daisy continued. Dots appear on Dalmatians when they are pups. You're a Dalmatian, Dolly! Dolly barked with delight. You are smart, Daisy. You solved the dot predicament and made my day delightful. Thank you for doing a dandy deed. Davy, do tell me why you are hiding, Daisy asked. I detest being chased by Duke, Davy explained. Daisy knew that Duke was a dutiful dog who enjoyed herding animals, because that's what Dutch shepherds do. During their conversation, Duke darted up. Davy, you deviated from your normal path, Duke the Dutch shepherd said. Don't you want to play, run, and chase? I see the dilemma here, Daisy dictated. Then she offered a solution. I don't think Davy enjoys when you chase him, Duke. If you drop the chasing a bit, I'm sure Davy would be delighted to be friends. We should always display love and kindness to our friends. Davy the deer and Duke the Dutch shepherd agreed that Daisy had a wonderful idea. We are determined to do better, Duke declared. Thank you, Daisy. You are a doer of dandy deeds. Once again, Daisy waddled down the driveway. She deemed it was a delightful day after all, although she was still thinking about her sisters and how they were dolling up their feathers.
Pass the book, pass the baby.
And also, if you guys don't see, there's a little secret in there.
There
There's
is a little secret in there. Penny the peculiar penguin is hidden somewhere inside the book. I think maybe Canyon spotted her. Then Daisy caught a glimpse of Dora the dragonfly hovering over a dandelion. She got so distracted that she didn't see the mud puddle right in front of her. The next thing she knew, she was feathers deep in the muddy water.
No.
Oh, drats, thought Daisy as she waddled out of the mud puddle. Her little duckling feathers were dirty and dingy. Her heart sank and she felt drab in comparison to her sisters, Dixie and Dee. Dora the dragonfly flew over to Daisy. Let me help you, my darling, she said. The morning rain had left drops of water all around the farm. Dora the dragonfly gathered raindrops and dripped them onto Daisy's feathers. All the dirt washed away. You are different, dear, Dora declared. Dora the dragonfly dashed away and quickly returned with a dainty little daisy flower. She dropped it on the little duckling's beak.
Aww.
You don't need to doll up your feathers, Dora continued. Remember the dandy deeds you did today? You were brave as you helped Drake the dachshund out of the ditch. You were smart when you helped Dolly with her dot predicament. You were loving and kind when you helped settle the disagreement between Davy and Duke. Dora paused and then said, Daisy, you already dazzle like a diamond because of what's inside of you. You are a delightful duckling. Daisy the delightful duckling pondered Dora's declaration. Then she smiled so big that her dimples shone. She didn't need to dress up her feathers. She had discovered that her delightful heart was what mattered the most. That is the end of the book, but at the very back of the book, We've got a page that's digging deeper with your child that talks all about how Daisy's character is based on the attributes of the Proverbs 31 woman, as well as Daisy's handy dandy definitions. So you can go through and learn an enhanced vocabulary that's included with the book, and all the fun alliteration, charming illustrations, and wisdom-filled message that you will find in all the Penny the Peculiar Penguin and Friends books, right? So I'm so excited that this is out in the world.
Yay!
So fun, our third book, and it's available now on Amazon. Daisy the Delightful Duckling cannot wait to come home and meet your family.